What if I told you, you practice ancient rituals every day without even knowing what they are? You wear black at funerals. You blow out candles on birthdays. You say, "Bless you," when someone sneezes, and many more. But what if I told you that these are no ordinary practices and that they are actually ancient rituals born from fear, superstition, and worship of ancient gods thousands of years ago? In today's video, we will uncover 11 everyday traditions that are far older, darker, or stranger than you think. One, wearing black to funerals. It may look all respectful now, but when it originated in ancient Rome, it was a matter of survival. Mourners wore black robes called toga pulla because they believed evil spirits floated around the dead. So when attending a funeral, wearing dark clothes made you invisible to the spirits. The custom spread across Europe and flowed down to today's world. Number 2, wedding rings on the fourth finger. Slipping a ring onto the fourth finger of the left hand feels romantic, right? But its origin is not based on scientific or spiritual findings. It's just a highly repeated lie that spans centuries, and it all began with the ancient Egyptians. They believed a vein called the vena amoris, the vein of love, ran directly from that fourth finger to the heart. They repeated it so much that the Romanians believed it as well, and it quickly spread across their empire and through the ages to this generation. Even when science proved the vein never existed, the tradition never stopped. If you are married, I bet your ring is still on your fourth finger as you are watching this. 3, blowing out birthday candles. Remember that sweet ritual at birthday parties where the celebrant lights a candle, makes a wish, and blows out the candle? Well, it's pure paganism. It started centuries ago with the ancient Greeks, who baked round cakes as offerings to Artemis, goddess of the moon. They then lit candles to make the cakes glow like the night sky, and when they blew them out, they believed the rising smoke carried wishes up to the gods. So when you close your eyes, make a wish, and blow out candles, you are not just having fun. You are acting out a 2,000-year-old prayer ritual to the Greek goddess of the moon, Artemis. 4, carrying the bride over the threshold. The act of carrying the bride over the threshold is no simple romance either. In ancient Rome and medieval Europe, it was done for protection. Some believed that a bride stumbling at the doorway of her new home was a terrible omen for the marriage. Others believed doorways were haunted by evil spirits waiting to harm her. So to keep the bride safe, the groom carried his bride over the threshold. Today, most people still do it without knowing why. 5, tossing salt over the shoulder. Salt was once so valuable that it was used as currency. Very valuable that the word salary comes from the Latin word salarium, which was the Roman soldier's allowance for salt. So in the beginning, spilling it was considered a bad omen, a sign of misfortune. But the Buddhists had a contrary opinion. To them, salt was a weapon against spirits, scattered after funerals to stop the dead from following the living home. Later, a twist was added. It was believed the evil spirits or the devil stood just behind your left shoulder, waiting for mistakes. Tossing salt over that shoulder blinded and drove them away. So even today, that small flick of salt over your left shoulder is actually a miniature Buddhist exorcism against evil. 6, saying "bless you" after a sneeze. Today, it is associated with politeness and manners, but it was once a matter of life and death. The phrase "bless you" after a sneeze goes back to ancient fears about the soul and disease. In the 6th century, Pope Gregory the Great ordered people to bless sneezers. Why? Because a plague was sweeping through Rome. Sneezing was thought to be the first sign of the disease. Saying "God bless you" was a desperate prayer to protect the soul before death arrived. So a blessing was protection. Today, the phrase has lost its fear, but it remains an automatic gesture of care and politeness. 7, throwing rice at weddings. The laughter, the handfuls of rice, it all feels lighthearted. But in ancient Rome, it was a sacred ritual. Guests threw seeds and grains at newlyweds to symbolize fertility, prosperity, and blessings from the gods. But as seeds grew expensive and rice became cheaper, people started to throw rice instead. However, the meaning stayed the same. So when you throw rice at a wedding, you are not just celebrating. You are repeating a 2,000-year-old prayer for children and abundance. 8. New Year's resolutions. New year, new me feels modern, but it is one of the oldest traditions in human history. Over 4,000 years ago, the Babylonians made promises to their gods during the festival of Akitu. This festival was held for 12 days at the beginning of their new year, which was always around mid-March in the Babylonian calendar. It marked the rebirth of nature and was also a time to either crown a new king or reaffirm loyalty to the reigning king's power under the god Marduk. During this festival, people also vowed to repay debts and return borrowed goods. Later, Romans made similar pledges to Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and endings. The very god January is named after. So when you write down resolutions for the new year, you are unknowingly honoring Babylonian and Roman gods. 9th, birthday celebrations. Blowing candles is one thing, but even the act of celebrating birthdays has ancient roots as well. Birthday celebrations date back to ancient Egypt, where a pharaoh's coronation was seen as a divine birth into godhood. Yet birthdays also carried fear. Greeks and Romans believed evil spirits gathered on that day. To protect the soul, people surrounded the celebrant, made noise, and offered prayers. The cheerful birthday songs and glowing candles we use today began as ancient rituals to honor gods and drive away demons. (10) Halloween, October 31st. Today, that date is all about costumes, candy, and fun, but its roots are chilling. It began as Samhain, a Celtic festival marking the end of summer and the start of winter. People believed that on this night, the veil between the living and the dead was thin, and spirits walked the earth. To survive the night, they wore costumes to disguise themselves and left food to calm the dead. Centuries later, the church merged it with All Hallows' Eve, which meant All Saints' Eve. They added prayers and rituals. As this tradition spread, ghost stories, fortune-telling, and gatherings turned into costumes, trick-or-treating, and pumpkin carving. What we celebrate today is the shadow of Samhain, reborn through Christian and modern traditions. 11. Christmas traditions. You think Christmas is all about Christ's birth, but the truth is December 25th was chosen to replace Saturnalia, the Roman festival of feasts, gifts, and wild celebrations. Early Christians placed Christmas at the same time to draw people away from pagan rituals. Even the Christmas tree comes from ancient pagan traditions of honoring evergreen plants as symbols of eternal life during winter. So your Christmas lights, gifts, and trees, they are echoes of Saturn's festival, dressed in Christian clothing. So now you know that when you write your New Year's resolution, wear black, or decorate a Christmas tree, you are not just following tradition. You are repeating ancient rituals born in fear, in superstition, and in worship of forgotten gods. The truth is simple but unsettling. It proves that many things we do are rarely modern. And here's the twist. These 11 are just the beginning. There are dozens more rituals you still practice every single day, rituals you'd never suspect. If you want to uncover them, drop a comment and hit the subscribe button, because the past isn't finished with us yet.